Hi everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today we've got in a Singer model 237 flatbed machine. These were made between 1967 and 1971, so it's a pretty old machine now. Good machines though, made in Italy. Let's have a look, let's see what we got here. Still got the original book with it. Some instructions, it's all good. So we've got here, sometimes in these machines you find the original purchase invoice. Not on this one though, that's in this little bag, that's just a bobbin. That's good. Get that out of the way till we've finished. Okay, looks pretty clean underneath. A little bit of fluff, not too much. Let's just see how it runs. Quite slow, it's quite tight. The belt's miles too tight, this doesn't help. First job I do then is release the belt a little bit. It's just this screw on the side here. Give it a turn to loosen it. Lift the motor up slightly. Tighten that up, see if it runs. No, I think because the machine's tight, it needs the belt to be tight. Once I've got some oil into it, I shall release it a bit more. It's tighter than I like, but let's get it oiled and then I'll adjust that at the end. Okay. Right, I found a problem already with this. The needle's in the wrong way round. The flat side on the needle should be on the right on these, and this was on the left, so that would have meant it missed stitches. Quite a common problem I see when they come in. They come in for service, but there's generally something going wrong with it, which has prompted the service. So when we put the needle in, we'll put a new needle in the right way round. Tension unit's operating correctly, but we will strip that down to clean it. Various bits. Flange is looking good. Tension discs pretty clean. Looks like it's been well cleaned, this machine. There's no fluff or anything. No excess fluff. We'll pop this back together again. I'll just show you this slowly in case you strip it down and you want to do your own. Always take this part first. You get the two tension discs which you face each other, so that there's the two curved concave bits are touching. That goes behind this plate. This spring, check spring, goes around it to sort of front and back, and we push this onto the machine, keeping the spring at the bottom. Push it in and then bring the spring round. So that should spring down. Just check you're getting that. Yeah. So when you let go of that spring, it pulls down, and that keeps the thread tight. And then the tension flange, then the beehive spring, then this little stop piece here that stops the numbers going past 0. And then the numbers, I won't actually set this up until I sew with it, but we'll get it on there just for now. I'll set the numbers later. That's all working. That releases when the needle bar goes up. That's good. Next thing to do is take the top off. The longest screwdriver in the world. Three screws on these, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. That takes the top off, leaves the bobbin winder behind. Just check the rubber on the bobbin winder. Yeah, that's all good. That's pretty dry in there. Just get some oil into the bobbin winder while I'm here. Needle shouldn't be going up and down. Not too much, you don't want to get it on the rubber ring. That's a bit freer now, that's good. I'll take the end off, just one screw at the bottom here. Take the needle plate off. Just two little countersunk screws holding the plate on. That's tight. Use this one just to loosen it off. Oh dear, I think that's been off for a little while. Screws there, needle plate off. Yeah, lots of fluff under that. So obviously the plate was a bit too tight to take off. It's never been cleaned. Take the bobbin case out. Clean the feed dogs. Not a lot of fluff in there. No fluff at the top at all. Unusual. Let's chip that back. Release this here to take the hook out. Just check the hook for any damage. A slight little dink on that. That would have caused some problems. Yeah, a few scores on there where the needles hit it. So what I do is just use a little needle file and just smooth that down. Not too much. You can see what I'm doing there. Probably see it if I do it there. There's just a slight nick on there, and that's the thread goes across there, and if it catches any nicks it can break the thread. Slight rub over with a file, not too much, just to make it smooth again. A little bit more, just gently. That's nice and smooth now. Probably wasn't enough to make any problems, but damage is damage. Right, start oiling it up, getting it a little bit looser. It's very tight, this machine really, but looking at it, it's bone dry. Then we'll start at the top and get some oil into the bearings. I'll do all the bits first and then I'll run the machine to work it in. Here moves, so put it around there and around there. Now we're getting just enough in, not too much, just to loosen it off. Again at the top, they're quite tightly engineered these, so there's not a lot of gaps in them. As I always say, keep the oil into a minimum this end. You don't want to get it all over your fabric. Oil up the needle bar. but you can already see how much quicker it's going now. And that's just all in the top, I haven't done the bottom yet. You can sort of hear it as it sews, it becomes freer. Might have to get a belt for this. Or is that just... yeah, we'll have a look at that. I might change the belt on this. I might just trim it, we'll see. I'll take the belt off and have a look in a minute. Okay, let's just do the bottom. Getting lots of oil in places on these, because this shaft here goes back and forward for the zigzag. Like the modern machines, it's just the needle that moves side to side, but on this, it's the bobbin case moves as with it, and the hook. Runs nicely. We've got a little device up here, a knob, which you turn to drop the feed dog down for embroidery. I haven't tried that yet, but I can pretty much guarantee that that'll be stuck. It's probably never used, so we'll have to free that up. I'll have to just tap that with a small hammer just to get it moving. I don't go too mad with them because they are cast and they can break quite easily. Just working some oil in all the places, keep it all moving. Only needs one tight spot. I think you can see now it's moving so much freer, so much better. What I can probably do now is loosen off the motor belt because it doesn't need to be so tight, and that'll make it run even faster. Just the, I'm going to oil the mechanism here. Another part I need to get to, which is just down here. Normally squirt a little bit of WD just in that place there. Give it a little bit of extra. Get rid of any moisture in there. Okay. Next thing to do is I'm going to take the hand wheel clutch off so I can get it apart. Just like that. So now we can release the motor, which lets me take the motor belt off, take all that wheel off. It's got a few frayed edges, this belt. That's more fluff, to be honest. Look like frayed edges. Nope, that's just thread. That belt's fine, that's good. That's good. Changing the belt because they're quite expensive belts. We're just gonna free that up there. That's good. That's all working as it should. Give this a wipe while it's off. Blow the motor out. The carbon, we've got some thread wrapped around the motor pulley. That'll make it slip. It's worth checking all these things. Might have to cut that. Little scalpel, just cut the threads. And there's lots wrapped around there. You can see what I'm doing, but I'm just cutting the threads on this. Untangle it all. There's quite a lot on there. I'll have to cut myself. Oops, on there, look. This means I can have the belt a bit looser now and it won't slip. It's obviously slipping on all this thread. Oops, the thread. Keep on going. Cut a bit, remove a bit. Try not to slice my finger off. Very sharp these scalpels. But I do have these specifically for this job. Just cutting away thread when it's wrapped around mechanisms. The pulleys. Loads on it. Excuse the bleeping in the background. The fridge being left open. Right. Painstaking job, especially when there's beeping in the background. Okay, still picking away at this. There's a lot in there. I don't know if they just pull off these pulleys. I might be able to just pull it off and do it, but I won't know if there's a screw on there to hold it until I get so much on there. Madness. They're getting there now. Getting to the end. A few more straggling bits left behind. Don't know if the customer didn't notice that all that was getting wrapped around there. Right, that's all clear now. Put a drop of oil on the shaft. Give it a little run. Lovely job. Okay, so I've oiled the shaft. I'm going to put a drop of oil on the internal of the hand wheel. Slip my belt over there. Stick it on the pulley. Drop of oil on the face. This goes round one of two ways. Just see, I won't know till this is on. I think that's just got to go half a turn, like so. this up to check. That's good. So yeah. Okay, so that's loose, far too loose. Let's just tighten it up a little bit till it runs. It's down there somewhere. Should be a bit better now all that thread's gone from it. Yeah, that's good. That's going to run like a train now. That's good. That releases it behind the bobbin. That tightens it up. Run the machine. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Right, let me just check you're getting this still. Lovely. Right, now we can start to get things back together again. Noticed a little bit of oil on this rubber ring, which I don't want, so we'll just wipe that off. Luckily it's just on the top, not on the sides. That's good. I think you'll agree that is a lot faster than when it came in. Lovely. Happy with that. So we'll pop the side back on. Just to double check I've oiled everything that needs oiling. Just put a drop more on there. Bit on the back there as well. Bit on there. That's nice. Right, I'm happy with that. I'll pop the side back on. This is a little bit loose here, so what I'm going to do is check the screw. Tight. Little pliers. Just going to straighten up this thread guide. Put that in there. Let's tighten it up. It's a little bit out of place, I thought, a bit angled. Put my screwdriver. I'll straighten that up and push it back into position. Won't affect the sewing, but it makes it look square. It makes it look better. Let's tighten this up like so. Put the side back on. So yeah, so certainly needed a service, this machine. Very dry, very stiff. It's nice when they come in like that, and then you can get them nice and free. The customer will really see the difference because they've used it obviously a lot. I only see it for an hour, so they'll see a vast difference. I'll pop a little card in with the machine, so when they get it back they can watch the video. I don't video every machine I do. But as different ones come in I try to do them, so I build up a bit of a catalogue. Okay, just check in there for any fluff, which there isn't any. Drop of oil on the bearing there, drop of oil on the raceway for the hook. Keep it nice and quiet. Pop the hook back in, close the door, run it by hand just to check it's running. Lovely. Pop this plate back on. Put 2 screws back in. I shan't do them up as tight as they were. Need to be able to let the customer undo them to clean the fluff out if they want to. Just nip them up. Like so. Needle up, put the foot on, grab a new needle. I always put a size 14 in there, or 90. Right, and this one goes with the flat side to the right. It is actually very easy for it to spin as you put it in. It is easy to get them in roll. Pop that in now. Even now I've twisted it as I put it in. That's it. So flat side to the right, it threads from left to right. You normally tell on machines which side the flat side goes by the last thread guide. On this one, the last thread guide's on the left, which means the flat of the needle should be on the right. And I'm sure that will now sew beautifully. Let's just wind a bobbin. There's a bit of red thread around there. Plastic bobbin on this. You can use metal ones, but once they've got the hole in, so it snaps down onto the bobbin winder. Get a few turns here. I'll keep my finger on this just to stop it popping up. Keeps the tension tight as well on the bobbin. It threads better if you've got a bit of tension on it. Right, let me just cut the... See, there's a little tiny thread, old thread, black thread coming out of the hole and round. You mustn't do that on bobbins. Just cut that off. You don't want anything around this edge stopping it moving smoothly, because it will affect the tension. That's good, pleased with that. I'll just cut that off, snip that off there, there's nothing in the way. Bobbin case is clean inside. I'm just checking underneath the spring for any debris, which there isn't any. That's good. Feels a bit tight there. I might have to release the tension a little bit on there. Yeah, that's miles too tight. Yeah, you should better shake it and it drops. There's no way that would ever drop. Just release the tension a little bit. Right, a bit more. Too much. Okay, so that's just hanging now. If I shake it, it starts to drop. You probably can't see that, but you can feel it. That pins in underneath. lift the needle up, that goes down between the tensions under the check spring, bring it up to the top, through the take up lever, back down again, follow the guides, final guides on the left of the machine, threads from left to right. See how my eyes are today, pretty good. Down and up once and pull, and pulls the thread up, perfect. The timing's good, the timing never goes out on these machines, it's just all joined together, it's very rare. Okay, let's get a little bit of something to sew on. Okay, first of all we'll do a nice straight stitch and just feel the tensions before I do that, because I haven't really set them up yet. It feels about right. Nice and straight, go backwards, check the reverse is working. So don't get in the way. Put it onto zigzag. Shorter stitch, wider stitch. Okay. Just going to do a bit of a longer stitch. And check out the fraction loose on top. So I think we either tighten the bottom or loosen the top. It's easier to loosen the top, so I'm going to loosen the top to 4 now. Better. Now I'm going to just change the number. I haven't turned the tension, I've just turned the number flange to get the number right, because I like it on 5. Lovely. I've done a bit of everything on that. Let's show you. Check you can see this okay. Right, so this is where I started off. Nice straight stitch, went on to zigzag, a little bit loose on top, slight, not perfect V. So I kept adjusting, and in the end we got to that. That's your latest one. So it's a perfect V top and bottom. Straight stitches, all individual stitches. Saying that, probably just adjust that a little bit more. So I get that straight stitch a little bit better. That's better. So it's more individual stitching, front and back. Just double check the zigzag again. So that is a nice V on top and a nice V underneath. Yeah, so that's better. I'm happy with that. So because I've changed this again, I need to again change the number, not the tension. Put it in position, so that's on 5. Let's check it goes up to 9 and down to 0 without falling off, which it does. Back to 5. That's pretty much it now. Put all these bits back in before I forget, so obviously belong to the machine. Blow, give it a clean. Put all these bits back in. Instruction manual. Right there. Put a little bit of fabric under there. Customer had this underneath, so I'll leave that there. I don't know if that's there for a reason. Pop that there. But these are the machines now. A little card just thanking the customer for their business. They can scan this code. Maybe if I film their machine they can watch it. Little pen I'd made up, 7-point sewing machines. Really nice pen. Get one of those. Put one of my stickers on. Shows when it next due for a service. And that's pretty much it. That's a Singer 237, Italian made, late 60s, early 70s machine. Running like new. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like if you have. Please say why if you haven't. And we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.